Hi everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove, and I wanted to pop on and show you a quick tutorial on how to draw a daylily. These grow pretty much everywhere around where I live in Ontario, in the ditches, in my garden, and they're really quite pretty. What I love is their vibrant orange and their green leaves sitting in the garden really adds a lot of interest to a garden. So I wanted to show you how to draw them and how to use pencil crayon to color them in. Just wanted to do a little sketch today. So let's get started on drawing. I use my 0.7 size lead in my mechanical pencil. I have a variation of Prismacolor color pencils that I use. These are kind of a higher end type of pencil crayon. I guess they have a higher wax content, and their pigments are very strong, so they blend really nicely, but you can use anything you've got, markers, crayons, even whatever you have handy. It's really just about playing with form and capturing these pretty little flowers. I also use a black technical drawing pen. You can get a pack of these at Walmart relatively cheap, and that's all we need. Oh, and I like to use coffee dyed paper. That's something I like to use. So I wanted to show you first how to sketch, and then maybe we'll do a little coloring on this little journal card that I made to go into some things that I created. So I made a little pocket here by cutting out the back end of the flower, and I think that makes a cute little insert for a journal. And this is a practice piece that I did. So just practicing away, trying to capture it. So let's start by drawing the flower first. So I'm just going to rotate a little bit more this paper. So I have my coffee dyed paper, and I'm just going to do a circle. And why I do a circle is it really helps me gauge the form of the flower by determining the angle and pitch maybe that the flower is sitting. So instead of drawing it straight down or straight to the side, I like to put my flowers on a little bit of an angle where there's a little bit more interest to them. So when I draw my circle, I now want to figure out where the center of my flower will be. So I'm going to put it off center right here. Then I start building out the form of the leaf, of the petals. So for me, what I like to do is I like to pull out these little stamens, or whatever they're called. I don't even know what they're called. Stamen? That doesn't sound right. But all I do is I pull them out and I create these little loops. And they come out of the center of the flower. And we can adjust those later if there's too many or too few. The next thing I want to do is start working on the petals. So I'm going to start with the front petal. So the front petal is going to come around the center where it would grow out from and down towards me like this. There's my first petal. Then I'm going to put a petal on the side of it, which is going to grow out from the center and go off to the side. And I kind of give them a little wiggle. They have these kind of feathery edges, and I'm just going to pull some lines out the center. And I'm just going to give this one another line where this thing has curved around like that. So you're seeing a little side profile of that petal. We're going to do one of the back petals. So I'm going to do the petal that is furthest away from me, comes out from the center and kind of goes off to the edge of the circle and back down. So it curves down away from me at the back end. Let's get rid of this little line here. Back end there. And there's those contour lines that I mentioned in all my little quickie sketch videos. So now I have another petal that comes out like this and curves round. Now this one we're going to catch the side profile of. So it's going to scoop back this way and scoop underneath. So this petal has now curved underneath. So this is the back side of the petal. It's going to get a line or two coming down the center as well. And then we're going to curve out another one. So let's start with this one here. So this one's going to start in the back a little bit, pull it out, go back round to the center. Now this one I want to put quite a significant side piece on. So it's again curved up and away. And all these little details like this really create that three-dimensional illusion that we're trying to catch. And one more petal here. We'll move that back. And again, we'll catch a little side profile. And there you go. So then the center, again, would loop down here, and then you know the stem would come out beneath that. So these original circles, you can see how they really play a role, and they really do help with any kind of flower. So if you were to do a daisy, it'd be the same thing. I can show you a daisy real quick just to show you how the circle, these little front circles really help create that dimension. So for a daisy, you would pull it out this way and loop it in front. And you would just work your way out the circle. And you just keep working these petals. And I don't want to go into super detail because I really want to focus more on the lily today. But you can see how they create, just using those circles, how you can create any kind of flower on an angle. And obviously you would erase these circle lines and you have a three-dimensional daisy. So I hope you can follow that, understand that. And this might take a couple of tries, right, on how to capture that form itself. But if you draw along with me and pause it and make any corrections, then you'll get the idea. So let's draw another one. I think we'll do one more. Now that we've done this angle, let's do one that's maybe facing us a little more. So I'm going to do my circle where I want the head of the flower to go. And then I'm going to do the center of my flower. So I'm going to, again, put it off center just to create a little bit more interest in the drawing. I'm going to do my little stamens. I wish I knew what that was called. Oh, geez. There we go. Just a couple coming out. And you can erase that, sorry, you can erase that circle before you do that if it's easier for you to erase now. And I like to try and keep the pencil light because when I use the pencil crayon, I don't necessarily want to smudge all that, but I'm kind of going a little bit darker so you guys can see. So you're going to pull out a petal, and this one's growing away from you. So this one can be a little tricky. So again, you're wanting that curve away. And on the back, you're going to see a little bit of that come out the back end. And again, I'm going a little bit darker than I would want you to, just so the pencil crayon would show up a little nicer. I'm going to jump over to this side. I'm going to give myself another petal. It grows back to the center. Curves. Give myself the one that's curved the most. And I'm going to bring that back to the center. And you can see the back end of that flower. Sorry, petal. Let's do another one over here. And there's all kinds of different daylilies. You can pick, really pretty feathery ones. There's all kinds of species to choose from. But I like the vibrant of the orange. And then that way. So now I'm going to erase really gently just some of these darker lines. I want to lighten it up just a little so it doesn't make such a mess with my pencil crayon. I want to get rid of that original line. And I hope you guys can see that, and maybe zoom in just a little bit more. All right, so now I'm going to play with my pencil crayon. So these lilies have actually a bright yellow center, these orange ones. So I'm just going to scribble some yellow. And again, the idea behind these videos is just a quick capture of these flowers. I'm not spending hours putting veins in or anything like that. So that was a lemon yellow. This is a Vermilion Claire. oh, that's French. Pale vermilion. And I'm just gonna put, I normally hold my pencil crayons this way, but I don't know if I don't wanna obstruct the view at all. So I'm just gonna scribble a little bit of this orange in. They have these yellow veins that go up as well, so I'll try to leave a center there to put some yellow back in after. Just gonna scribble in some orange. If there's anything you guys want to see me draw or show you how to draw, I'd love to hear from you. So please feel free to put it in the comments what you would like to see, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. I'm just going to color the back of the petal there. If these instructions are relatively easy to follow, like anything, they'll take practice, but hopefully with a little step-by-step that you can follow along visually might encourage you to pick up a pencil and give it a try. I know that drawing can be intimidating for those who haven't done it in a long time. So this is just a plain old orange. I'm just gonna scribble the rest of it in with my orange. I'm not too worried about staying in and out of the lines. I do try to move with the direction that the petal grows. If you can, that's important, especially if you're drawing like this and you've got thin lines, make sure you go with the direction that it grows. That will play a huge role in how the overall flower looks in the end. All right. So I think I'll put a little bit more contrast in there by using a darker color. This is a terracotta. And I'm just gonna start popping out some shading here. So this is fun. This is one of my favorite parts. So I decide on the petals, which petals in front and which petals behind by coloring in the darker shade in the back. So if I put the shading here, it moves this petal forward. So in this one, right now they're even, but if I decide to put a little bit of a darker color back here, you can see it pops this one forward. So this one's tucked behind, so I'm gonna put a little in there. This one's tucked behind this one, so I'm gonna put a little in there. Also gonna put a little in the back here, just to show that that is folded over. The back end of the petals in shadow, same with this one. And this is like just a really fun way to establish a little bit more depth in the drawing by putting the shading in certain areas. So you can see that this petal's in front of this one and this one, just by that little trick. Still gonna put a little bit of shading in the middle of this, just so it has a little bit more dimension. So just playing with it, scribbling away. Add a little bit more yellow now. We want that yellow center, those stripes. And I like to use a black pencil after and pull out some of these lines just for a little more drama. I'm gonna go back to that light orange. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to this orange here. This is a neon orange, which is a really fun, bright orange, and it really pops. I love it. And I push just a little bit harder on this one because I want to start burnishing those colors together. And this bright orange is just so pretty. And they really are this vibrant. You know, you really spot them in a garden. I'm just pushing a little bit harder on this, and you can see it starts smooshing all the colors together. My technical term is smooshing. And just keep coloring away. So when you get to the point where you're blending the colors like this, the paper will only absorb so much color. It won't, you'll only be able to go over it a little bit after that. You won't be able to go over it a lot. So bear that in mind. You want to make sure you've built up your color contrasts well before you start really burnishing these colors together. All right. So we can go back with a little bit more yellow, just to smush it out some more, and I'm really gonna push on it. Oh, my son's door is creaky. Must have come out for some food. Teenagers. It's the only time I ever see him. It's when he comes out to eat. I'll do a little bit more contrast here. And you can put a little bit of detail in by drawing some veins up if you want. Going in between these and pulling them out. All up to you how much effort you want to put into it. And sometimes it takes a lot of practice. Sometimes you'll find too, like, you'll like drawing certain things and you won't like drawing other things, and that's perfectly normal. Sometimes there's subjects I really don't like drawing, like hands, not a big, and faces. Don't really enjoy drawing that stuff, but I force myself to do it just so I can practice. Sometimes it's a question of finding the medium that you like. Maybe you don't like pencil crayons. Maybe you prefer just a pencil or working in ink. So you got to try a couple of different things so that you can see what it is you do like. All right. So now I'm going to do my stem. So the center is here. So I'm going to give it a little bit of interest by curving my stem a little bit. And in this one, I'm going to do just a little bit of a growth there where they have the little segments attached. And I think we'll do maybe a little one that hasn't quite opened yet. I'll do that. So I just loop it round and then I do another loop inside and the green that it grows from. And maybe another one right here. So another loop, maybe a little bit younger, a little bit smaller. And that attaches to the main stem. Oops, don't like that. We'll make it attach behind. You could do as many or as few of those as you like. You can have another one coming out the side here if you want. Tucks behind this plant. So you do these cylinder tubes and kind of a wiggly line in between, which is the segments of the petals that haven't opened. So let's color those in. So I'll use some green. So I've got some true green, it's called. I'll throw some of that in. Just throw that in there. And I find the new growth have a little bit of green in them. It's almost like they have to ripen like a banana. So they're a little green and then they get more and more orange as they develop more. So I like to throw a little bit of green at the base of these new ones. And then we'll do a, what's this one? A lemon peel, just a little warmer green. Throw a little bit of that in there. Again, just scribbling. And then I have my dark green. So this is grass green. Throw a little bit of that in there. And you can see it's very loose, just scribbling away, not stressing about staying in the line so much. Just having fun. So I start the process again. I'm gonna start with the orange. So throw that in. And then we'll go to this orange, this pale color, pale beryllium. Put some of that in. Again, just scribbling it in. We'll go to the yellow. A little bit more pressure. Start softening all these colors together. And then I'm going to go to my terracotta and put in that nice contrast color, especially around where the segments separate. So right in the pencil lines, we're going to put some in. Maybe a little bit more just behind the petal here, so it stands behind it. Kind of pushes it back. And then we'll go to our neon orange. And we'll burnish it by pushing hard. Love this neon orange. This is really pretty. And there's something about this coffee dyed paper that it's my thing right now. I'm right into coffee dyed colors. I've been drawing on all of them. Pencil, crayons, drawings, everything. All right, so let's grab I like to use a technical drawing pen, and this is a 0.1, so it's a really tiny nib. But you can use a ballpoint pen, whatever you've got. And then if you can, if you don't have one of these, just watch that your pen doesn't smudge as you move your hand across it, that's all. So some inks take a little while to dry. Some inks will not sit on top of this wax pencil crayon either. So that's another thing to notice. And they don't necessarily have to, but if you did want to put more detail in, you want to find a pencil that, a pen that can handle the wax. And like this one's not very good at it either. But I only want to put a little bit. I don't want to put too much black in it anyway, so I like the soft effect. I just want to capture a little bit by scribbling around the edges. And then maybe a little bit around some of these guys. Go to a thicker one, that might help. What's this one? A 0.5, so it's bigger. Let's put some in there. It might sit on top a little bit easier. There we go. Again, not too much. I don't want to make it dirty looking. Just want to pull out some detail. I like the sketchy look. That's why I like to work with these pens after. There you go. Just a little bit of doodling, a little sketch. Nice and loose. All right. So you got figure out how to make the form of the flower by drawing the circle, and how to create the opening of the flower by pulling the petals away from it. And as I said, that you'll just practice with these little curved petals and details, and you'll know when it's right because it will look right. If it looks wrong, then you can just erase it and keep trying and keep practicing. So there's today's tutorial on how to draw a daylily. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll try and remember to list the colors below. I'm pretty bad at remembering doing that stuff, but I'll do my best to do that. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you give it a try. And again, if you have any comments about what to draw next or what you would like to see in pencil crayons or one of the quickie sketches, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and the notification button, and please comment and let me know. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.